Okay, I just wanted to do another quick video on how I approach another dynamic pose. Let's go, let's jump in. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing as I did last time, so head but draw super lightly so I can move things around if I want, and I don't want to copy exactly. I want to try to accentuate the pose, make it more dynamic, basically, as dynamic as possible. Yeah, so let's get the whole body in first with some more long sweeping gestural lines. Axis of shoulders. This shoulder is pretty high. It's a bit high on the model, but I can make it even higher, I think. She's holding a big pretend axe, so actually it's so huge I might not even make it that big, but I just want to suggest that first. So I've got a bit of reference in terms of size and proportions for the rest of her limbs and things like that. Actually, do you know what? I think I'm going to pull that away so the silhouette shape, so the silhouette is better, so it doesn't touch. I know it'll have to touch her, otherwise it'll be right out. No, okay, so I'll leave that where it is. That's the axe. No, well, it's just a circle at the moment, but it'll turn into an axe, kind of. Right, so let's get some rough arms in, and then afterwards, once I start to press a bit harder, I'll kind of think about how to make it more dynamic. Okay, so let's get torso in. I'm going to shorten her torso a little bit because I want to give her super long legs, and I might run out of space on the paper, which is never good. Right, so sweeping torso, arched back. This side's yeah, I'm going to say this side is squash, the far side is stretch. Pelvis area is kind of there. Let's get her feet on. Let's also think about, same as I did last time, importantly, think about the center of gravity. I'm going to drop her horizontal down from kind of her throat kind of thing. Make sure it's actually vertical, because I think in my last, because I was sitting slightly at an angle, in my last video it wasn't exactly vertical. Okay, don't need him yet because I'm still thinking about gesture. So, thighs, lower leg. Again, important angle of the feet, their relationship, because she's not straight on at us. So her right leg is a little bit further back, which means it's higher in terms of on a 2D axis. So right, legs, getting in the armature again. I like, on front legs like this, I like to accentuate the lower leg curve and even make it, I might make it quite thin, so it even looks quite cartoony. That leg's coming towards us, that foot's coming towards us. Let's make it a bit fatter so it really looks like she's planted on the floor. So, kind of, the energy goes up the outside of the calf. Hang on, does it? Yeah, let's go outside, sweep in there. Because I want that, I want to accentuate this motion here, except that looks a little bit weird. I'm going to have to give her some inner calf as well. And press a bit harder on around where her glutes are, which I might turn this sideways slightly. Because she wants more, because we're seeing more of the side of her, she wants more thigh, I think. Okay, let's deal with the back leg a bit. Knees, again, knees also, except on my reference, the knees are only a tiny bit angled, but I can make them even more angled because I want to make it look like this side is really close to our eyes. There's more dramatic perspective. I'm going to sweep this. Let's see what it looks like. I thought I wanted to sweep this back a bit, her lower leg, but it might look a bit weird. I don't know, let's go with it. See what happens. I want to make her that's a bit of a lazy foot. No, okay, let me go back up. Let me deal with the torso a bit more. Oh, and this arm as well. I've kind of accidentally already drawn her hand. I'm not going to go into detail with her hand. It's just a gestural sketch again. Yeah, so that's behind her. Trying to see through the form as well. I imagine where her far shoulder is. I can't see on the reference, but I can imagine where it is. Because if that shoulder's close to us, it's on an axis, so the far shoulder's about there. deltoids, shoulders, run down. I'll give her quite thin arms. Oh, reference gone off. Give her quite thin arms because I want this to potentially be a character that's slim. So really accentuate the length of everything, really. But simplify lines. I'm going to kind of jut her head out a bit. My reference, she's straight up, but I might push her neck that way a little bit. Where is she looking? We're looking up at her a little bit, so her eyeline is kind of there. And I'm going to do exactly what the reference says, which is her head's turned slightly that way. No, I will do what I said before. I think I'll push this out so the silhouette shape is better. And I make the axe smaller actually. I don't want to touch that to her leg because I want that to be clean in the silhouette. Right, let's go a bit harder now and solidify these forms. Okay, so what was I saying? I think I'm happy with the length of her torso. Let me just, sorry if my head gets in the way, just want to look straight ahead a sec. Yes, because I'm looking at a bit of perspective, so I have to imagine what it looks like for you on the camera. Okay, so head down to, neck down to pit of the neck there. Torso, but like I said before, I don't want to think too much about anatomy. I only want to consult it if I get stuck. She's kind of wearing kind of tube top kind of bra thing. So I'm just going to hint at that. But still want to keep her pretty slim. So torso shape into neck. I want to think about how to, which curves and which like forms to accentuate. I want to change the shape of her head. Yeah, that's a bit of a better shape of her head. I don't want to do features on this. So I went. So here's her arm. Let's have it coming out a bit more actually. Where would her elbow be? Kind of in line with that, yeah. With the, yeah, a bit higher than a belly button. Too long in terms of realism. The torso is too long really, but I want to keep it like that. The hip bone on the far side is about there. I want to show that that's exactly where it is. Center line, so belly button, I'm going to say was about there. Sweeps in, and she's kind of jutting her whole pelvis forward in this way, so I want to get that in, but then I want to give her a bit of glutes. Greater trochanter there. Wrap that round the form. Something I didn't do in the last one was wrapping lines to show some three-dimensionality. So I'll do that in this one. That sweeps back, and then there's her leg. There's her torso. Quite like showing where torso ends and legs begin. Far leg, knee. I need to clean up this knee a bit. It's a bit of a kind of indescript knee. Let's sort it out. Calves a bit too high. Let's lengthen it a bit. Calves go down quite low, like pretty much like halfway down the lower leg. And when they're super short, it can look a bit weird in what I find in my drawings. Okay. Let me sort out this foot as well. Let's give her some far toes, otherwise she can look a bit like she's got just, well, kind of nothing feet. Foot arch. So this knee I said was going to be even lower. I'm just going to keep this as a circle really. I think that's okay. I do want to show a bit of mass on either side of the actual knee, the actual patella. And then let's give this, swoop this round a bit, I think, out. And let's plant this a bit better. Big toe, always an important toe to show things looking like they've got form, and then where those toes end I want to show, sweeping back. Okay, that, well, do you know what, that is, it's a back arm, but because it's further away I might leave it even lighter because I want to go a bit heavier with the limbs and the things that are closer to us. So let me, this well, this is the closest thing actually to us, to the camera, the hand. So maybe I should define that a bit more. Where's her wrist bone? About there. So she's clenching her fist. Don't want to do the thumb. I'll just hint at the thumb. That'll do. And then arm, bicep goes into that. Yeah, okay. I don't want to, this is just a gestural sketch as well, so I don't want to go too much into the axe. Should define this though, even if it's light, it's not really looking like a hand. I want a bit of hand box shape. And this, for this one, I do want to suggest a thumb because it's wrapping round the handle of the axe. Yeah, does that go down far enough? That's a long upper arm. Yeah, that's okay, that's okay. I just need to make sure this looks planted enough. So her throat goes down to there, which is kind of the middle of her center of gravity. In mind, she's leaning back further. Yeah, okay. Hope it helps, and see you in the next video.